What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of The Actors Take.
Episode 2.
Episode Take 2. You gotta say Take 2.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Actors
right.
Take 2. You know what I'm saying?
You're right,
Like, it ain't the episode. Come on, man.
You're right, my bad.
Introduce yourself, man.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm one of your hosts. I'm Slap Rock the King. I'm here with my man.
Kyrie Terrell, man. It's your boy. It's your boy Kyrie Terrell, man, in the building, man. We're gonna have a little fun again tonight, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about a few things. One thing we're gonna discuss later in the show is the top 5 black sitcoms of all time. Don't let the cat out the bag now.
I'm not. But this is just
thing-
our
opinions.
Our opinions.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's always gonna be our opinions, baby. But first we wanna talk about how we both got into acting.
Ah, man.
Like your first gig and what made you wanna get into acting. That's what I wanna know, Slap.
Damn. It happened for me in middle school.
Okay.
I actually wrote my first play in middle school, right?
Oh.
And then I went to high school. I went to William Penn and I took drama. And
school
during that
that ain't
time,
there no more.
Shit
Damn.
ain't even there.
Ain't that a
shit
bit?
ain't even there. I'm sad. Temple bought that joint.
I used to have a shorty at William Penn. I used to
Yo.
pull up and have my little Cavalier.
He pulled up at McDonald's parking lot.
Woo, I used to pull up right on the side of the school. You know, you was a young boy. You had a wheel. You pulled up.
Yo, back then you was the man.
You was the
had
man.
a will.
Don't let me interrupt though.
It's
You
all
went to
good.
William Penn.
So I went to Penn, and my drama teacher was like, "Yeah, you should try to take this further." So I took acting classes. Right, I took acting classes downtown, at Second and like Vine, that big bank where the Real World House used to be.
Okay, yeah.
I took my acting classes there,
Okay.
and my instructor was I cannot remember this lady's name, but she was a detective on a cop show back in the day. It was like 30 of us in the class.
Okay.
And around the time that our sessions was over, like towards the end of the whole class, I think it was like a 4-week class. She pulled 3 of us to the side. It was me and 2 other people, and she was like, "Y'all the strongest I got in my class. If y'all really gonna pursue it, y'all should do it because y'all got the most talent out of everybody in there." And then I just ran with it, and I forgot this Muslim girl that I was friends with. She actually got me into my first play, which was with Rick Watson. You know Rick Watson?
I've heard the name.
He from South Philly. Something wrong with my family. I think that was the name.
Something wrong with my
I think that was the name of the first joint.
These black people play
I don't even
names,
remember.
bro.
I can't remember the name of this joint.
Black people play names be crazy.
His Jones was something wrong with my family. Your mommy, but it was all kind. But that was my first actual.
Yeah.
That was my first actual play, and I was extremely nervous, and I think I was only nervous that one time. That one time because, I had a bunch of people there like support me to come see me for the first time.
How old were you?
Probably like 19, 20.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought, was I working for SEPTA? I probably was. I know I was.
Man, you been
young.
there forever.
Yeah, I've been with SEPTA 20 years.
Dang.
20 years, dog.
You got a pension.
You know what?
Hey, ladies.
I definitely got a pension. I can retire tomorrow if I wanted to.
Pension, ladies.
I can retire tomorrow if I want to. So I started acting first, and then I started working for SEPTA. So
Right.
I've been acting for almost the same amount of time I've been working. But the play was dope. I was nervous as hell because my first show, I sold like 50 or 65 tickets.
Dang.
And back then, starting out, that's a lot.
I hope you was getting some pay off.
And so the good thing about Rick back then was, I think he gave us maybe like $125, and then he gave us $10 or $15 off each ticket.
Okay.
His tickets was always high. They was like $65 and stuff like that. But that was my first show with him, and I think I did his next 7 plays.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did his next 7 plays.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I see my story's a lot different than yours. I always knew I wanted to act, but I always thought I couldn't. Right? I always would have like stories in my mind I wanted to tell, and I would like, somebody need to do this, somebody need to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I always would like just like freestyle, act out, different scenes and moments and stuff like that. And like, always been a movie buff and everything like that. Always loved movies and always was like, damn, I want to do that one day. But I always thought, I'm a nigga from the hood. I mean, parents ain't in my life. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, let alone I'm about to put together an acting career, was my thoughts, So it wasn't until I went to Temple, and crazy story about that. It's important to tell our backstories a little bit. So I'm gonna tell you this story. This is crazy, and it ain't gonna be long. But I was about to go to Lincoln Tech. I was about to be a car mechanic. And I took the SATs in high school, and I had very high SAT scores. I don't remember exactly what they were, but they were like astonishingly high.
Mine was astonishingly low. Real low.
Mine were so high that I went to Frankfurt High School for 4 years. I'd never met my counselor, right?
Damn.
My counselor came to find me on what was like the last week of school. You ain't doing shit in class.
Right.
My counselor came to find me in class, and he's like, "Who's Kyrie Terrell? Is Kyrie Terrell in here?" My teacher's like, "Hey, there's Kyrie over there. I'm playing cards or something." He's like, "Can you step out in the hallway with me?" So I'm like, "What's going on?" Like, I knew he was the counselor because I've been there 4 years, but I've never
had
a run-in.
Right.
He's like, "Why haven't you applied to any 4-year colleges?" I'm like, well, I went to Lincoln Tech. I went to, it was another one that was like another technical institute. I forget what it was called.
ITT?
No, this one was more for like computers and stuff. It'll pop in my head. But I was like, I went to both of them, and I just decided I was going to go to Lincoln Tech. And he was like, do you realize how high your SAT scores are? I was like, I mean, I thought the test was pretty easy, but you know what I'm saying? No. And I can't remember, but I was like 40 or 60 something points away from like a perfect score. And he was like, with these scores, you have to apply for a 4-year university. You have to. Here's 4 of them. He already had them with him
lined up for you
in a folder. It was UPenn, Drexel, LaSalle, and Temple, and community too. So it was 5 of them. He gave me community college as well. So I'm old. So this was back when you had to fill it out. It was it was a pamphlet. It was a brochure.
I remember
you had to fill it out.
Yep.
And it had an essay on the back.
Yeah.
So here I am. I don't even know why, because like I'm the only person doing work in class at this point.
Yeah.
But something told me to fill them out. So I filled all them joints out. Wrote the essay. I'm sure there was crazy typos and misspellings because you had to handwrite the joint, but I did it. Sat in my English class for like 2 hours, knocked them Jones out, wrote the same exact thing on every one. And I think Temple, obviously community.
Yeah.
Might have been Drexel or LaSalle. But 2 or 3 of them reached back out. But Temple was the only one that was going to help me with financial aid.
Got you.
So Temple, I forget, I don't remember the specifics. I've been out of school long enough, and we talking about 23, 24 years ago. But there was something that Temple had that was like, I was also awarded a state at the time. I was in foster care, aging out of the system. So some program they was like, I could qualify for like a lot of my tuition with.
Gotcha.
So that's why I went to Temple. And I say all of that story because, had life not led me to Temple,
You probably wouldn't have been an actor.
maybe not as soon as I started, right? So what ended up happening at Temple is like, I just met a lot of people being on that campus that was like doing stuff like entertainment stuff. You know what I mean? I met Q Deezy there. That's Quincy Harris for y'all that don't know. I met Naeem Lynn, who's always on tour with Kevin Hart. I think Spank went to Temple too for like 5 minutes or something.
And then you got
but I ain't meet Spank there. I met Spank later on. I used to always be with the SG Rose, the step team. And it just was always something to do, right? So that was where I first got some stage. You know what I mean? Like Naeem put me on stage. I think I was like modeling or doing something with in the show Q was hosting. And the SG Rose will always let me play like the male figure in any of they like presentations they was doing. So if you ever been to like HBCU or you ever been to like a probate or something like that, like they do it up crazy.
Right.
So, you know, they would always hit me. Like, I think I played like Phantom of the Opera for them. And I ain't had no lines, but it was like choreography and like, you know, me being this presence on stage and all of that. And I fell in love with that shit. Like, I was like, yeah, I gotta find a way to do more of this. I absolutely have to find a way to do more of this. So from there, it was like school was a struggle. I was broke. I had to go to work. And my first taste of like stage play, like what you did, my first taste of acting was more so music. I was in a music group, so we would do videos and stuff like that, and that was like, you know, a taste of it, you know.
You was singing?
I was singing and rapping.
Shit.
But I met Cash Goins, and the crazy thing is, I feel like I met Cash at Warm Daddy's in the bathroom. Pause. And Cash just basically was like, yo, you got a good look, do you act? And I was like, actually I do. And he was like, I'm doing the black play names. It's going to get to me.
Oh, Cash was doing black plays back then?
Yeah.
Damn.
And he was directing something that somebody else wrote, and it was called, oh man, something about getting something about heaven. Something about getting out of heaven. Forgive me for not remembering the title.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Something about not getting out of heaven, but it was there was the premise was. And I can't remember the young lady that wrote it either. Forgive me, y'all. I promise I'll add y'all.
It's been a long time.
If I remember
it's been a long time, dog.
Time. But I played. There was the premise. Let me go back to that. The premise was a young man wasn't doing right by his wife, and he got hit by a car or something, and now he's in heaven, and he's being given a chance to like come back to life and like restore his life, but he has to see like the BS that she's now going through, because you're not here. So I basically played the BS. So I played 3 different characters, and those characters were supposed to be the guys that she was now dating. And I don't remember all of them, but I remember one of them was like the young sexy dude, and you know what I mean, I had my shirt off and all that, and another one was a pimp, and I don't remember what the other one was. But Cash, he was the first. He gave me my first play, and then I think I did like 3 or 4 plays with him after, and I did one. I didn't actually do it. I actually was supposed to do another one with somebody else, who should go. You know, I won't mention them, but got all the way through the audition, and it just was some. I don't really feel this, so I ain't do it. You know what I mean? But that was my entrance into acting. So plays too, like you.
Yeah, plays. Look, and I love. Tell me what you love more though, because I love. Film is my dream, right?
Okay.
Film is my dream, but I love plays because plays to me it just perfects your acting. Like, you know, with film, you can say cut, you go back.
Yeah, let's do that again.
You know, you can't do that.
Do that on
you
plays.
can't do that with plays. You know what I'm saying? So, have you ever been in a play where either you messed your line up or your partner messed your line up, and y'all had to try to figure this joint out?
Bro, I was in a play. I think it was called like 9 Ways to Skin a Cat or something like that. And the tough part about the play was there were very similar scenes in it, and multiple very similar scenes. So there were like it was like couples counseling, right, in the play. So we were in this same situation a handful of times.
Yeah.
And one of the times that was supposed to be late in the play, somebody jumped it. Like they just was in that setting and they just jumped it. And I knew they jumped it. And I'm trying to give them cues to get back on the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm saying the stuff that's supposed to be said. And it was a hard joint because it was an unfold joint too. So it wasn't like we could go back in the second half and fix it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened to me before, and it happened a few times to me before. And one thing about me is I try to, when I'm in a play, I try to learn everybody's lines.
That's what I was about to ask you. Like, it's so important in plays to know that other person's line, because if you don't know that other person's line, like, we know when we mess up. When we mess up, the audience don't really know,
Right.
unless you give them that long, dry pause, and everybody like, no, somebody's supposed to be saying something right now. You know what I mean? But I was gonna ask you that.
And all of your co-stars don't always know you messed up.
Facts,
either,
no,
because they might just be waiting for that cue line.
Yeah,
a lot of actors, and here's a gem for y'all, especially if you're in plays. Don't be sitting there waiting for cue lines. Like, you can't highlight your stuff and look at the little couple words that come before your bars and be like, all right, when he say out the window, that's when I say my line.
Yeah.
Because if he say out the window at the top,
right, and then
you
jump out
with
there
something
like,
else,
no,
like it's a wrap for you.
You know, jumped out there early, too damn early. You done
Right.
messed up, man. I was in a play. Matter of fact, I wasn't in this play. I was supposed to be in it. And I go see the play, and the dude line is, I'm a doctor, right? But he has a line after that. But he can't remember the line after I'm a doctor. And this is the thing about cocky actors. And he's good. He was real good. But he was like, hey, I ain't got to come to rehearsal. I know my lines. You know what I'm saying? So instead of him, I don't even know what he was thinking. All I know is I'm in the audience. I know the lines because I was supposed to be in the play, but I couldn't do it.
Got the script.
So he kept saying, but I'm a doctor. And so we all looking like, all right, we get it here, doctor. I lie to you not. He said it like 8 times. He said it so much the audience was like,
but I'm a doctor.
They was like, I think he forgot his line. And the person had to come out and try to save him. Oh, and he tore that whole scene up. Tore the whole scene up. So it's very important. It's very important as when you're doing a play to know the entire.
You gotta know that.
You gotta know the entire script, man.
Because
if you don't,
you know what I used to do, bro? When I used to be in plays, I would, and this is pre technology. Whoever's out there watching this, I want y'all to know that me and Slap are old. Yeah. So this is a lot of stuff that we saying is just different technology.
Yeah. Facts.
So one thing about acting that I'll say, because I have a son that acts, he sings, he dances, and he just ain't got no hustle. And I tell him all the time, like, bro, you got a full production studio or recording studio in your pocket, let alone your father owns one. Right? I didn't have none of that. No. And he way more talented than me. But if I would have been born into an iPhone, man, it would have been up and over. Yep. Right? We come up in a time where somebody had to put you on.
Facts.
Right? Nowadays, you can come up because you just did like this all day.
One thing go viral.
And now people want to put you on stuff. Yeah. And people learn the hard lesson. I've learned the hard lesson that every Instagrammer ain't a good actor.
Facts.
You know, and they get jobs now because they got followers. Yeah. They automatic promotions. Yeah. The marketing's built in with hiring some of them. But that don't mean that they go and respect the craft.
How do you feel about that though? Like, does that make you feel like, because somebody asked me that, and they was like, well, I think you funny to that person. And like you said, I'm kind of old school because I don't want to be known as a social media comedian or something like that because a lot of them get a bad rep. Like, and when I mean bad rep, like you'll get put on a Tyler Perry show, you'll get even put on motion pictures. Like, shout out to DC Young Fly because he one of the ones who at first I didn't think he was that funny doing that. Fuck you mean? I didn't think he was that funny, but he grew into, to become a dope.
He's one of the few that you can tell has respect for the craft.
Yes,
he's one of the few that you can see like, all right, he putting some work in somewhere, and like you say, he's growing before our eyes and morphing into a well-rounded entertainer.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
He do a lot.
He
of
do a
different
lot of
stuff.
stuff, man.
You know what I mean? So yeah, should definitely shout out to him. I'm a huge fan of his. And
Yeah.
and the thing about it is, I'm not hating on the social media comedian come up or anything like that. I just wish that shit existed 10
When
years.
we did it.
10 years
Yeah.
before it existed. You know what I mean? So I could have got a little bit, and I'm dabbling in it now. But to your point, I'm different because I am an owner operator
Now, yeah.
of a production studio, and I'm a writer director. So my interest lies heavily in creating, like what you see behind you, Work Bay, Singledom.
Right.
You see Money Lovers behind me. These are projects that I wrote, directed, produced,
yeah.
funded. You know what I'm saying? So that's my interest. You know, I have much more interest in doing full bodies of work and premiering and streaming full bodies of work than I do doing IG or YouTube all day. But we live in a world where we need them. We need those folks, because I'll tell you why. If you ask your consumer base, right? My personal consumer base is probably 40 something, right? And then it goes down from there.
Yeah.
Right? Some people probably older, but my consumer base is probably highly somewhere around 40, some 30-year-olds, a few 20-year-olds, and not too many 15-year-olds. But the lower you get down that scale, and you have to remember, 5-10 years ago, all the craze was millennials, right? But the craze was only because we were growing into the purchasing party, right? The purchasing party is nowish. It's your 35 to 40-year-olds. If you're over 41, you're not a millennial, right? But if you're in that age group, you're now purchasing the things that were forced upon you when everybody was like millennial. So I'm making my point too long, but the point I'm making is the people who are coming up on social media right now are the celebrities of the future. Gone are the days where the big celebrity was the big movie star. Right? The big celebrity now to the younger generation is they got 1 billion subscribers on YouTube. They got 100 million followers on TikTok. Right? Even IG is outdated. Facebook is old. Facebook now. is your dad's platform at this point. So I say all of that to say the creator is also going to change. Right? The actor that I wanted to be at 18 and the actor that wants to be an actor now at 18, they have the tools, and the camera on this is getting better and better by the phone. They have the tools to produce their own film in their pocket. That's a game changer.
Big game changer.
So Hollywood eventually is going to have to say, well, we got to get little so from TikTok in our movie, because the fan base, right? You think about Spider-Man, they're gonna do Spider-Man forever. Pretty soon Spider-Man ain't gonna be the next trained actor. It's gonna be somebody from TikTok that they know is gonna put asses in the seats.
These influencers they killing the game right now. They killing the game.
They're making money.
So we talked about when we first started acting and stuff like that. And I know we got a segment about this later down the road, but I want to know your top 3 directors that you worked with when you first started acting, and why.
Top 3 and why. All right, so I think I know him. I gotta say Cash Goins, because he gave me an opportunity to be in my first play. And I took a lot from Cash as far as being a director. I learned a lot from just the way he ran his sets, the teams that he was able to build, and just the vibe. Like back when we was running with Cash, we supported everything he did, whether you was in it or not. You know what I mean? I went to New York to see his joint when he was out there, and it was a competition. Went there with some other actresses that wasn't in the joint, and we rocked out, we partied together, we chilled, all of that type of stuff. So it was a good just vibe and energy around everything he was doing. So I picked up on a lot of that as a young boy, just just coming through the acting ranks, and you know, some of those people like Tiff Barrett I met through Cash, you know, mutual friend of ours.
Yeah.
And me and Tiff, it's funny, when I first met Tiff, I was trying to holler.
Yeah.
Right? And she had whoever she had, and you know, I was just, you know, young playboy doing my thing anyway, but we still locked in on a cool side
Right.
that we locked into and stayed there for so long, for so many years now. Like, you know what I mean? I think me and Tiff now go back 15, 16 years now. So, Walt the Shields is another one. And I just went and seen them in Clyde's.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Great joint. So it was dope to see them back on stage together. But he's another one I met through Cash that I'm still good with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my guy. He directed Bay vs. Bane, Up Over Here is Over There. But he directed that for me. You know what I mean? And I gotta say Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill gave me a lot of opportunity behind the scenes, and still does to this day. Maul got my name in a lot of film credits. You know what I mean? And Maul got me my Tubi deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We was talking about that. Yeah.
So I gotta shout out to Maul. Maul's one of them people that I think he saw something in me as a young boy, even if it was just my grind and my hustle, and knew I was going to move a certain way.
Yeah.
And he always gave me opportunity. Always gave me opportunity. So shout out to him. And he's also, you know, Philly May been doing it forever. And you know what I mean? Maul got his name on a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, man.
You know what I'm saying? And I'd be remiss if I didn't include a female, man. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Dominique Janelle, who's new to my team. And the reason I'm gonna give a shout out to her is I don't know if Dom has her own director credit yet, like besides ADing, assistant directing. But I'm definitely gonna give her a director crack at it, because the thing I love about Dom is she doesn't have a long tenure in filmmaking. I think Dom might have been in it for like 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
But what you can tell about her is that she loves the craft, right? She's a student of the game. She loves the craft, and her work ethic makes it seem like she's been doing it forever.
Right.
And when she was on Money Lovers with me, it was the first project we worked on together, and I learned that I'm not gonna have to do as much as I usually have to do because I got Dom.
Yeah.
So I'd be remiss if I didn't, you know, mention her.
Yeah.
And I mean, along the way, it's a lot of honorable mentions. I've worked with a lot of different people, and I've worked on sets that had directors that, you know, I got to kind of take a look at, but I wasn't in a role that would have been under the director, because that's the beautiful thing about my career is I've worked in front of and behind the camera. Probably no, I'm gonna lie if I say that. I've definitely worked behind the camera a lot more than I've worked in front of it. I've given myself more opportunities in front of the camera than others have given me. So most of my credits and my accomplishments is definitely behind the camera.
Yeah. I would definitely have to say, of course, I definitely gotta say Rick Watson.
You got to always got to mention.
Yeah. And I got to mention Rick because, like I said, I did that one play, and then I did like his next 6 plays, and then I think I had the lead in like 4 of them Jones. So I learned a lot from Rick. I learned a lot from Rick. Rick has a crazy following and a crazy backing. So he got what Tyler Perry got, but he got it in Philly though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he will sell out anywhere in Philly.
Wow.
Yeah, he'll sell out anywhere in Philly. The second person, damn, I think all these people from South Philly. Darrell Lawrence.
I definitely heard of Darrell.
So
I met him a couple times.
Darrell, I like Darrell because Darrell, not just because he pay you good, because he will. And we talked about this off air where you know people feel some type of way about taking 1-liners or 2-liners, right? So let me tell you a story about Darrell. Now, me and Darrell, we became friends. Like, we cool, and he had this play called "Do You Trust Your Best Friend?" I think that was the name of it. Ronnie Graham was in it, and
shout out Ronnie.
Shout out Ronnie Graham. So we take this play to Alabama, right? We take it to Alabama, and so I get the script. He's like, yeah, you going to play the Reverend. I was like, all right. So I get the script. So I see the Reverend. I come in. I say one thing. So I'm flipping the page. Like, all right, well, where I'm at. So I say one thing in the beginning of the play and two things on the very last scene.
Yikes.
Now, this is me, like, probably 10 years into acting already. You know what I'm saying? But like we was talking about, like, you still got to get in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Michelle A. and Angela Winbush also in the play. Angela Winbush was humble as hell. She didn't mind being in the dressing room with us and everything. Like, we actually was able to talk to her and have a conversation with her. Not Michelle A. No, Michelle A. was in her own dressing room. She didn't even want to be in a car with us. None of that shit. I'm like, girl, you know you was popping like in the 90s. You had 2 songs. It's the 2000s now. And
Right.
you drawing. But Darrell paid good like a motherfucker.
That's what's
That
up.
motherfucker. And then he flew us out. We ain't pay for our flight or the hotel.
No, y'all was living.
What?
Y'all was living it
I
up.
said, how can I turn down 2 lines?
I'm gonna do my 2 lines. Get on this flight.
What?
Spend some time.
The only
with-
thing about Alabama, I ain't like it was a bunch of pork. But I mean, everything was pork. They had chicken with pork on it. I'm like, ain't no regular
You want some of
chicken
this
here.
pork chicken?
Like, so, the third person it would be Cash as well for me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because coming up as a young actor, Cash Goins' name was one of the names that I always heard about. Like, yo, Cash.
Mm-hmm.
And this nigga, I could not get in one play. And I don't think I auditioned maybe for one, and then I think I missed a few, but me and him became cool, and I still wasn't getting no phone call. You know what I'm saying? But he made me appreciate. I think he was just preparing me because you know how we do. We know people, and we just get roles for word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's not always good because when you go to New York, you go to LA, you go to Atlanta, them niggas, they ready to eat you alive because they doing casting and everything like that. Some of us just get roles because of who we know.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got an audition for 5 to 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, with 5 to 10, I was supposed to play an inmate. And around this time, I wasn't good at cold readings. And I think I was intimidated by the people that was in the room. But they all my friends. But I know these niggas be killing cold reads. Eric Carter, Rod Dion, Tiff Barrett was in there. So, and I was more afraid because I was going up against Rod for the same role. And Rod just killed cold reads. Like, he be reading that shit like he had it for 2 weeks. I'm like, oh my God. So I didn't get the part. I didn't get the part. I was mad as shit. Cause I'm like, damn, this is going to be my first play I get with Cash. Cash called me back like, yo, you going to play the CO. And that CO role, like, changed everything for me acting-wise because a lot of people see me do, like, funny stuff. And they don't think I could be serious. Man, I swear to God, till this day, and we ain't done 5 to 10 in so long. Like, people that see me, that saw that play, they still call me C.O. Thomas. And I appreciate that from Cash because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to, grow as an actor with that type of role. That role Rod got was for Rod.
Right.
And for a lot of you actors out there may be a role that you're trying to get that you don't get.
Talk about it.
It's okay though. It's okay because I wanted that inmate role. I really did. I'm like, nigga. And the way Cash had it set up, like, you saw it, right? Yeah. So the audience was in the
play.
jail, in the play. You know what I'm saying? But they was more scared of me than they was the inmate.
Yeah.
So it's okay if you don't get a role. It's okay because there might be a different role out there for you. Yeah. And shout out to Walt too, because Walt directed my one-man show. LaQuanda, McCullum. She
Brad
Brad.
Baker.
Oh yeah,
You
Brad
gotta
Baker. Oh,
bring
you
up
got it.
our guy Brad.
Gotta shout out Brad. Oh my
And-
God.
And he
So-
got one coming. He gonna kill me because I keep forgetting the name. What's the name of
Oh,
the slate coming?
and
Man, follow Brad Baker Productions, man. He got
Yeah.
one coming, man. That's you know what I mean. No slight to him. but
yeah, I
that's-
read that joint
That's
too.
our guy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
our brother.
Yeah, we love Brad. So. Yeah, man.
It's a lot of folks that's up and coming right now that's doing their thing, man.
Yeah,
so,
for
so
sure.
shout out to everybody that's doing their thing. Shout out my guy Chop Mosley too.
Oh
man.
yeah, Chop. Yeah,
Chop
yeah.
is just amazing and up and coming as well, man. We got some cats from Philly that's doing their thing, man. Terrence Arlen's another one,
Yup.
man. That's my guy. He's doing his thing.
Ozzy Jones, man.
Yeah, Ozzy.
Ozzy smartest. Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Toby Gaddison. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
I love
And
Toby,
Sky
man.
Sky Dennis.
Yeah, yup.
That's my guy Lionel Cook.
Yeah.
I know you worked with Cook.
Yeah,
before.
yup.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of them, man. Too many to name, but yeah, Philly got some talent. Philly definitely.
They
got
love
some
Philly
talent,
swag
man.
wherever we go.
Listen, man, we gonna get into these sitcoms, man. We gonna get into these sitcoms, man.
I just want to see how many we got the same.
We gotta have.
We
a lot
might
to say.
become we already like best friends, but we might be top tier. Depending on what this list is.
All right, so this how we gonna do it. Then let's go one for one.
Well, let's go one for one.
Let's go one for one.
All right,
So-
let's go for one.
So we doing the top
top
five
five. Okay, I got
black
mine.
sitcoms of all time.
Whew.
All right, you go first.
I'll go first.
Had to put you on the spot.
It's okay. It's okay.
And where we going? We going from the
It don't
number
matter.
one, or we going?
No. Oh, you
or
want to do
just
it like
name-
that?
or just name anything?
Let's just name anything, cause All right, you want to do 5 to 1?
Yeah, we got. Let's do 5 to
All right, I'm
1.
gonna do 5 to 1. I'm gonna do 5 to 1.
Do your fifth one, and I'll do my fifth.
I know you ain't got this one. Number 5, 227.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And shout out Regina King. She's still working.
She's still working.
She's still sexy.
And she still look good,
She's
yo.
still killing it. I just watched Poetic Justice the
Oh
other
my
day.
God.
She's a one, man.
Yes.
She's she's like the Damian Lillard of black
Yeah.
actresses.
Yeah.
She's the shit.
Yes.
And she's not all the way respected, loved,
And that's crazy.
or revered like
I can't wait till
somebody
we
else.
talk about that.
Like
Oh my God.
I feel like some people like and I know I'm taking the topic away, but I feel like some people get way more love than her, but like people don't understand, like she got like production credits, director
Crazy.
credits, like all types of like legendary actor roles, actress roles. Didn't she do the what was the John? It was a whole series she produced.
Yeah. Oh man.
I want to say Umbrella something, but it wasn't that.
No. I know what you're talking
It'll
about
pop
though.
up in her head, but she produced that whole John.
Yeah, she man.
like she a beast.
she
all the way
needs-
back from
give her
227.
Meryl Streep moment, cause that's what she need, yo.
Why you love 227 though? Tell me why that's number
because
5.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because growing up, it was a lot of stuff that, cause I grew up in a church household, so it wasn't a lot of stuff
Stuff
that
that you was allowed to
I was
watch.
allowed to watch.
So
So
227
So
you
I
could
could
watch.
I could watch 227. It wasn't a lot of stuff that I could
What was
watch
the
though.
227 spinoff with George Jefferson and what's the name? It had the church from Philly in the opening credits. Remember that, John?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it was called. It'll pop in our head, but go ahead. That was
Oh
the
no.
227
I
spinoff.
know it is. That's on my list.
Oh, it is.
That's on my list.
Stop playing.
That's on my list. That's on my list. That's
All
on
right,
my
go
list.
ahead.
All right, here we go.
No, 227. You still was telling me why you loved it.
And because it was just, I just felt like it was relatable because I had a neighbor like that old lady that was always hanging out the window. Always hanging out the window, just nosy
Damn,
as
she
hell.
passed, did she? What was her name?
I forgot her name, but she was
Damn.
she's probably like I think she was like 115 when
was
she died.
old. I don't know from two.
She was 80. She was 80 in 227. nigga. She was old as hell in
She was 115.
She was old as hell. So all right, that's my 5. What's your 5?
My 5. My 5th is The Parenthood.
Oh, I didn't think you was going. I had that as a notable.
The Parenthood, baby.
Oh,
And number
this gonna be a good list right here.
number 1 is because of. Damn, how I forget her name that fast? It started with a Z.
Oh,
It wasn't Zara.
damn, what's that girl?
Damn.
Yo, I swear I got that.
But
right
it was
in my
number one
notes.
because of her.
All right. Okay. Yeah. She's bad.
I can't believe we both forget her
She's
name
bad,
right
though.
now.
She's bad.
But yeah, it was number one because of her.
All right.
And then the Parenthood was just one of them Jones that was like, if it was coming on, I was watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was Robert Townsend. Shout out to him. He's a pioneer. In acting and film and all of that. Hollywood Shuffle and he's another one with his name behind a lot of stuff that people don't even realize he had his hands in. And I think he wrote for like, I'm gonna get it wrong if I try to quote it, but he's written for like major comedians.
Oh yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
Possibly Eddie Murphy.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I know Robert Townsend has his hands in a lot of stuff. And The Parenthood was just good content.
What was the movie when they was the golden with the gold hair?
That's Meteor Man.
Meteor Man.
Come on now.
Meteor.
I'm redoing Meteor Man one of these days in some way, shape, or form. The Golden Lord you talking about?
Yeah, the Golden Lord.
Yeah.
Yo, oh my God.
Yeah. And I gotta look this up because this gonna kill me.
Her name, right?
If I don't remember her name, like she my whole reason, and I don't remember her name.
All right, look.
People probably watching, shouting out her name right now.
Why you looking for her
Tell me
name?
your number 4.
My number 4. My number 4 is Amen.
It was called Amen.
Amen.
It was called Amen.
Amen was so funny. That nigga Riley was so funny, man. Oh my God. And Zaria. So you was right. You was on the right track.
Close. I said Zara.
We was on the right track. And I'm gonna tell you why Amen on my list is because Amen is what I thought church would have been like.
Okay.
And me going to church back then, like 3 days out the week, 4 days out the week, I was like, yeah, I thought real life church was gonna be like what it was on TV.
And was it filmed in Philly, or that church just was a church in Philly?
I think it was filmed in Philly though. I think it was.
It may have been. I know the church was the outside when it first came on.
Yeah, I think it was.
Church.
It had to been. Why would they film a church in Philly and they be somewhere else though?
I
mean, back in the day, I guess so. But yeah, Amen was hilarious.
What's her name? She was Craig.
Yeah. I love her, man.
She was a young Joan on Amen.
And the dad though. The dad funny too. I mean the husband.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot his name too. But that was Craig mom.
Yeah,
Craig mom
on
from
Friday.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right, that was my number 4. What's your number 4, bro?
Number 4.
Ooh, I got my honorable mentions. I'm glad I ain't pick them because I think
you do. And here's the thing: we talk about sitcoms right now. We got to do white ones one day too.
Oh well, I'm with it
because I got some white sitcoms that I fucks with. Heavy.
I got some white ones.
4 for me is Living Single.
Oh, okay.
4 for me is Living Single. I think Living Single was like the first of its kind in that you had an all-female black cast.
Yeah.
I can't remember a show that had that before that. Obviously, Queen Latifah was super popular back then.
Yeah.
She brought 4 young ladies into our living rooms that we still to this day, we reference.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just a great dynamic to see that was alternative to what was on TV at that time. You know what I mean? And it was funny.
It was funny.
Like Overton Wakefield Jones, that's my guy.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Kyle Barker.
Kyle? Oh my God.
Like it was just a good, and again, it was another show that if it was on, I watched it.
Yeah. I love that show.
Where you going? What's your number 4, man?
No, this is my number 3. This is my number 3.
Number 3.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
It should be tight going to hell with. It shouldn't be no different from here.
I don't know. You're right.
Maybe the order.
Maybe the order.
But it should be the same from here.
We about to find out. Number 3, the Jeffersons.
You got me out of here with the Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons.
You know my thing? I'm going to tell you why the Jeffersons ain't on mine, and then you tell me why they are. Right? Jeffersons, for me, was a bit too mature comedy for when I was that age.
Yeah.
I think if I went back and watched the Jeffersons now, I would get a lot more pleasure out of it. But if I'm not mistaken, I think I was maybe like 6 to 9 years old when the Jeffersons was on. Why you love it though?
And it goes back to what I said about Amen. Now it's different because the verbiage on Jefferson's was way different from Amen. So again, I couldn't listen to cursing and stuff like that. So I loved how George was just airing people out. And I was like, You can really talk to people like that.
And listen, on
Yo,
TV back then.
TV? I didn't even know they could say the word nigga on TV back then. I had no clue till I went back and started watching old stuff. I'm like, he just said nigga on there.
Right.
So I was
old school sitcoms.
Oh my God.
You was fat.
Yeah.
You was ugly. You stunk.
Yeah.
If you was gay, they talked about you.
Yep.
Like, and the craziest thing is, I think that we lost ourselves in this sensitivity bubble that we're in now.
Oh yeah.
Because people are different.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. People are different.
Right.
And some of those differences are funny.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't mean I hate you.
Right.
It doesn't, and I know people gonna say, well, that's sometimes people do hate and they use it as a disguise. That's true.
Yeah.
But some shit just funny.
It's just funny.
It's just funny, and that's it.
It's just
right? Because of our differences. And I think that comedy took jabs at those differences back in the day in a way now that everybody's doing check swings at.
Yeah, you can't even throw that.
I don't know if I want to.
You can't even throw that joint like that.
I'm always and forever going to be an advocate of, if it's just funny, it's just funny.
Yeah.
And for me, that goes with white people joking on black people too.
Yeah.
Because that's the main one that's always kind of taboo. Black person could say everything they want about white people.
Yeah.
But as soon as white people be like, black people be doing this, oh, they racist. No, it's just funny.
It's just
but I'm
funny.
sorry, you Jeffersons. Why you love the Jeffersons, man?
Well, the Jeffersons, to me, I think when I actually start watching the Jeffersons, because I didn't see it till I got a little older. Like, I felt a piece of my personality was George. And
so you locked right into that.
I locked right into that. I was like, oh, I want to tell people off just like that. Like, what? Like, yo, George, he didn't take no mess from nobody. Not even his wife.
Not his wife. I was
not
about to
even
say,
his
not his
wife.
wife.
So,
George and Wheezy.
I felt like, all right, I saw something in George that I felt like, oh, that's me too. So, and it was just uncontrollable laughter. Uncontrollable laughter. I mean, I could watch the Jeffersons all day.
Jefferson's definitely the jam. That's a good one.
I want to see where you about to go. I think I know where you about to go, because none of us said it yet, and it's not on my list. It's a notable, but it's not on my list.
I'm sorry. I'm breaking rules because I just thought about one that gotta be an honorable mention. And it wasn't on my joint, but I don't know if it's considered a sitcom, but I think it is. But nonetheless, my number 3. And it's getting crunch time, because if I got 3 left and he just gave y'all the Jeffersons, that mean some stuff
I know.
different at the
Your
top.
number 3 might be my number 2.
The Jamie Foxx Show.
No, it's not. For real?
The Jamie Foxx Show is my number 3.
Oh, that's a good one.
You missed the Jamie Foxx Show, didn't you?
No. Jamie Foxx, I just was watching that joint when Ryan Osley was on there. I just watched that joint the other day. Yeah, Jamie Foxx was a good one.
I'm going to tell you why Jamie Foxx
that's a good one.
Show is my number 3. My number 1 and my number 2, I think. My number 1, I think, is just, obviously, it's my number 1, hands down. I think it's the best sitcom of all time, white or black. And then my number 2 is very powerful as well. And I think that they are both better shows than the Jamie Foxx Show. A lot of people going to be mad at me when I say this, though. I think the Jamie Foxx Show was funnier than both of them. I think the Jamie Foxx Show was, in my opinion, the funniest sitcom of all time.
The funniest?
The funniest. When I'm telling you, for Jamie Foxx Show, almost every week made me cry. Almost every week, tears from laughter.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely. I can't disagree. Like, it didn't make me cry, but I was doing this every show. At some point of that show, I was doing that with him and the bull going at it, and
it was his characters for me. Tyrone Koppel.
Yeah.
And it was one where he had it was one where he had the ostrich costume, and the ostrich legs was his legs, and it was little legs on the side. The one where he played the Spanish boy, he was like,
God.
"You merengue,
Yeah.
no?" Yo.
Oh
Yo,
man,
his characters and his little quips, man. I think pound for pound, he can't go toe to toe with my top 2 pound for pound, right? And by pound for pound, I metaphorically mean his character base, his tenure on air, you know, his special guests.
Because I think he only had
on.
like 6 seasons or something like
it was
that.
6. No, it might have been like 6.
All right.
But because I forget, like once he was like working at the Jingle John and all of that, I kind of even fell off.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why he gotta be number 3. But yeah, that's my number 3, man. Jamie Foxx show.
That's a good one.
You on number 2, ain't you?
I'm on number 2.
Woo! What you got?
I'm going number 2. And this, I know this got to be on your list.
It gotta be.
All right. Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son ain't on your list. What?
Now I'm like, what's not on yours?
Yo, Sanford and Son ain't on your list.
I'm gonna tell you, Sanford and Son I enjoyed, but again, I was so young.
Yeah.
I was too young to really absorb it, and I'm older than you, nigga. I know he look older than me. I'm older than him. So Sanford and Son, why you like Sanford and Son so much?
Red Fox was just an ignorant ass old man, and I just felt like this dude outside of Sanford and Son, like I started watching his comedy, his stand-ups from back in the day. He was hilarious. He was hilarious, and it was just like I'm just looking at how different, you know, how, and I think for me is how TV was back then. When I watch TV now, I'm more so like Sanford and Son because I wish that's how TV could still be. You know, the way they talk. I'm picking stuff that, you know, reminds me of my personality as well.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Thing. We got way more diversity on this list than I thought.
Hold on. And I kind of purposely did this a little bit because Parenthood, was it Parenthood you had?
Yeah.
Parenthood was on my list. Parenthood was definitely on my list, but I said, no, I feel like me and Ree gonna have the same 5 joints. So we ain't got none of the same ones.
It's just great.
Number 1 is going to probably be the same one.
It gotta be.
I'm pretty sure number 1.
I'm gonna rumble you.
Yeah, I swear to God.
It gotta be.
But you know what? I don't know.
We're
We're
gonna
see.
Number 2.
Here we go.
I'm gonna tell you my number 2.
Here we go.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Okay. All right.
The Fresh Prizzy is my number 2.
I knew that was going to be on your list. I knew that was going to be on your list.
It got to be. The Fresh Prince is not only Philly history, but it's like it's literally one of the best shows of all time.
It is one of them. And Fresh Prince was on my list too, but I said, let me switch it up. And Fresh Prince was going to be my number 4.
Okay.
But I put Amen there.
Okay.
So yeah, but all right,
so
it's cool.
Stay over there with Amen and stop trying.
Oh yeah, I'm over here with Amen.
To the Fresh Prince.
Me and Riley, we over here.
Tatiana, Emma Lee. Yeah. Seeing a lot of my list too was based on who was on that joint. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a big fan of Zaria. I was a big fan of Tatiana.
Zaria was bad.
I was even a big fan of Hillary. Hillary was sexy to me too. Yeah. But then the thing about Fresh Prince is people don't remember Fresh Prince had like. It might have been like 60-70% comedy, but it had some drama.
It had some gems in there.
It had some drama and some good
gems in there.
Some good acting in it as well. So that's one of the reasons why I say like pound for pound, Jamie Foxx show was the funniest because I just remember laughing crazy at Jamie Foxx. But with Fresh Prince, I remember learning. I remember being it was an impressionable show. So I remember like taking things from it, being inspired by certain things, and like especially like me, like I grew up without a consistent pop in the house, so I'm learning how to family from some of these shows. You know what I'm saying? So just seeing a family dynamic with Will moving from Philly to Bel Air and being parented by Uncle Phil, I could relate to. You know what I'm saying? So that's my number 2, and I could do probably an hour show on the reasons why. Yeah, but we ain't got much time left. What's your number 1?
But and also piggyback off that, Fresh Prince had a lot of young actors on that show who are
the shit now.
Neil Long. Yeah, he had a lot of people on that show, and I was like, that you see now, you look like
Vivica Fox, Jasmine Guy,
all of them.
I think he had no, he ain't had her on there.
He had
a little young. He had a lot of
people on there. He had a lot of people on there.
All right, so
all right, I know what both our number ones
right, let's
is.
say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
Martin.
All right, good. We about to not be homies. We about to not be homies if Martin wasn't his number one.
Yeah.
I'm about to say.
Now, Martin definitely had me in tears.
Yeah, for sure.
Martin had me. Oh my God,
For
man!
sure.
It's just so many episodes that people know episodes verbatim till this day.
People use Martin scenarios, quotes, and situations
Facts.
in everyday conversation.
Facts, so true.
Like, it ain't been a sitcom that at least for black culture, that permeated the way we live and talk and be and breathe more than Martin did.
Facts.
Like, here's a real stat. Crime in the urban community dropped drastically.
I heard that.
When Martin was on
TV. Yep.
Like,
that's crazy.
That means everybody, all walks of life, took their ass in the house
just to
for a half hour. I'm going to watch Martin.
Damn.
Wasn't nothing going on in the streets.
Mm.
That's crazy.
What's your favorite Martin episode, though? Outside of...
That's a tough one.
Because all right, what's your favorite one, though?
That's so tough, bro. Like, I'm going to bring one up, but it's not going to be my favorite.
Right. I know, because
I'll think of another one later and be like, damn, but this one, damn, favorite John? I'm going to go with, it's one or two, one or the other. I'm going to just put these two out as some of my tops. I don't know if they're my favorite, but when they delivered the baby, the pregnant lady John.
At the crib?
At the crib. That's one of my ones. And when they got snowed in.
And when
Hustle Man came to the door
and Cole was frozen with the pizza?
Yeah. I'm going to give you them two as my tops.
What's yours? When he got that speeding ticket and he had to go to...
one.
The funniest part about that ain't Tommy saying GTD. It's the bailiff, the security bull. When he say got the drawers, the bailiff over there dancing. I'm like, yo, don't nobody see this nigga dancing? Yo. And the other one for me is when they got stuck at the bus joint.
That's a good joke.
And they stole all their stuff. Yeah, that's
a good joke,
I mean,
too. It's too many.
It's too many though.
It's too many.
It's too
Martin
many,
is,
man.
and the reason why he's number one is because if you sat down a bunch of people right now, they all gonna have a different one, and everybody reaction gonna be like, yeah, that. Like, he don't got, like, it ain't too many stankies.
No.
Like, he ain't drop a bomb on that show. I can't remember an episode where I was like, this joint was kind of lame.
No.
Like, you might have to go all the way to the end when they was done with Gina.
To the end, yup.
And
That's
the
it.
chemistry felt different.
That's
But
it.
if not for that, like, Martin untouchable.
Untouchable, dog.
It's untouchable.
Yeah.
We got to get out of here, but let's drop our honorable mentions before we get out of here. I had to put one on my show when I started, on my list when I started talking about shit that was funny.
Which one is that?
I don't know if this is a sitcom, but the PJs.
Ah, that was on my list.
The PJs.
That was on my list, dog.
Bro.
Yo, PJs was on my list. The PJs.
Do the PJs count as a
It got
sitcom?
to.
It was like animated,
No,
but it was still a sitcom.
hold on. I'm going to tell you why I count. Because I Googled black sitcoms in the 90s.
Okay. And it popped up.
And it popped up. So, yeah, PJs was on my list.
PJs a good joint.
Funny.
PJs was hilarious. Smokey.
PJs was on. Oh, my God.
when he was like,
Yo.
Smokey, what you doing in my 40? Smokey had it in his mouth. That nigga was like, it's more like a 15 now.
Yo.
The PJs was hilarious.
You know what I thought you was going to say?
What's
I really thought you was going to say the Cosby's, though. I thought you was going to say the Cosby.
I'm not a big Cosby's fan.
I
and
thought
it
you was gonna
has
say
nothing to
Cosby.
do with Bill's
Yeah,
recent
we ain't worried about that. We ain't worried about that.
I
Boop.
just
We ain't worried about that.
never. The Cosby's was on in my house because everybody wanted to watch the Cosby's.
Yeah.
Not because I was really like a big fan.
Family Matters was on my list. My
Family
notables.
Matters is a good notable.
Family Matters was on
Family
my
Matters
yeah.
that's a great notable. And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't think about Family Matters. It wouldn't have cracked my 5, but that I didn't even think about Family Matters. But my other honorable is Good Time.
Good Time. Oh. Oh, how we forget
And Good
that?
Times. I didn't forget it. It was on my. It was my first honorable.
Man, I forgot
added
all
the PJs.
about that.
Good Times was my first honorable mention. I was like, I gotta still say Good Times because Good
Damn.
Times was another one that Good Times was a show
They had gems in it too.
that I used to look for.
Yeah.
Because Good Times I think was off the air by the time I was like checking sitcoms out. But I used to
Yeah.
look for Good Times. Like, where can I watch Good Times? So that was another good John, man.
I think we're gonna have the same when we do white sitcoms. I guarantee we probably gonna have four the
There's
same.
no way. It's
I
too many of
guarantee
them.
you we gonna have.
It's too many of us. No way.
Nah, I know we gonna have the
And
same.
I got it's some old school ones is mine.
Yeah. I got some old school
ones.
Jones too.
All right. Fuck it. Let's do it next week.
Fuck it.
That's next show.
Let's do it next week.
Next
Cause I
show we
already
gonna do the white
It's
sitcom.
already in my head. So it's already in my head right now. So
Hey man, we appreciate y'all for
Yeah,
watching,
thank y'all.
man.
Yeah.
The Actors Take podcast, take 2.
take 2.
All right, our second show. So my man Slap, man.
I'm Slap Rocket
Tell them
King,
where
man.
they can find you.
Follow me on Instagram, lovable_asshole83. Follow me.
There it is. Once again, we down here filming at Potty Time, man.
Potty Time, y'all.
The sets are all interchangeable. You see, we got our logo on the TV, but that could be your logo.
Yep.
You see, I got my artwork on the walls. Make sure you check out Work Bay on Tubi. Money Love is coming to Tubi soon, and you can check out Singledom on YouTube, man. But that could be your artwork. You can use this set, or you could use one of our other 18 set configurations, man. We can mix and match this whole studio in a bunch of different ways. Potty Time Philly. At Polytime Philly on Instagram, man. Check us out there. I'm Kyrie Terrell once again. Kyrie Terrell on everything. Thank y'all for watching, man.
Love y'all, man.
We out of here.
See y'all.